They Need You to Eat More by Kiana Dougherty. Let's hope I said that right. It's your boy RushMoreRick. Let's get into this reaction. Let's go.
In order to succeed, the food industry needs us to eat more and more and more. And we have been. Over the last 60 years, we've completely changed our eating habits. We now eat bigger portions, we snack all day long, and we've crammed.
I don't think I ever noticed how big the food was until like I moved to Texas. Like maybe it's just like an environment thing, depending on what state you in, like where you reside. But in Jersey, I used to eat fast food all the time. Like I never had a good ass diet like the one I have now until I moved to Texas. But in Jersey, bro, I feel like the portions, even if you eating fast food, the portions were never as big. Now you come to Texas, they got shit like Whataburger. That shit was like a fucking culture shock to me because it's like you got this big ass patty. Like this big ass patty, big ass bun, and it's just like it's insane. And on top of that, everybody eats with their eyes. Like especially today's time, like everybody's eating with their eyes. So nobody takes the time to nobody's gonna pull out a scale mid restaurant or mid fucking fast food restaurant, obviously. But it's like we're not even conscious about the portions that we're eating, the sizes that we're eating. Food is just fucking large now. It's crazy.
Our diets full of cheap, ultra-processed food. The result is obesity for us and billions of profit for the food industry. But recently, something interesting has happened. For the first time in decades, people are eating a little less. Nothing crazy, just a shift for now. People want to be healthy, so they are exercising, they are losing weight, they are eating less. Sounds great, right? Well, not if you're the food industry. In that case, it's bad for business. So what are they doing? They're fighting back. So today we're discussing the food industry's multi-million-dollar plan to get things back on track. Their new wave of healthy, ultra-processed foods, and the fact that right now they are using AI to engineer the most insanely addictive food products they've ever created. But before we get into it, let's talk about cooking real food at home with today's sponsor, HelloFresh. If you
best believe when I get that factor deal,
and these meals are
when I get that factor deal,
HelloFresh
y'all gonna be sick of me.
If you're familiar with Hot Pockets, those little pizza pockets you pop in the microwave, heat and eat.
This may be a hot take. I love Hot Pockets, but Hot Pockets died. Like I feel as though the era of Hot Pockets, pizza rolls, fucking just quick food, even maybe because I think people still air fry nuggets. Like everybody's a fucking air fry demon. I'm an air fry demon. Everybody loves air fry food, air fry nuggets, air fry fries. You could put potato, you could put anything in the air fryer. But to me, before air fryers were popular, quick foods like the pizza rolls and the Hot Pockets, shit like that was always just like a go-to favorite. It was always something quick. Like the little pizza bagels that you could put in a microwave. Like anything that just quick and microwavable, those shits were in. But then when the fucking air fryer blew up, I don't even know when. I feel like that's when like the game changed. Like people start kind of like putting real foods or quote unquote real foods in the air fryer as opposed to just buying shit like Hot Pockets or pizza rolls. I keep repeating that, but like that's the only two that I can really think about because people still do nuggets, I'm assuming.
You want a hot meal without a big deal? Hot Pockets.
Yeah, those. And I'd like to ask you, would you consider them to be a health food per se?
Hell no.
Okay, fair. Well, then would you consider them to be great for weight loss?
Hell no.
Again. Okay. Now, what if I put them in a green box? I removed exactly 30 calories and I renamed them Lean Pockets.
Bored with the old diet lunch? Join the revolution. Lean Pockets, a revolution in speed, low calories, and a taste that's
I've never heard of Lean Pockets. So either them shits were ass or somebody's out there gatekeeping because I've literally never heard of Lean Pockets.
definitely not diet. Like chicken parmesan, pizza, beef and broccoli.
Join the Lean Pockets revolution.
So part of that was a commercial from 1989, which is why the Lean Pockets look particularly revolting. Also, who the heck is buying a beef and broccoli flavored Lean Pocket? You cannot tell me that that flavor had any sort of success. But yeah, Lean Pockets were actually a pretty successful product. They were only discontinued in 2020. This product had a 30-year run, despite the fact that, look at this. Lean Pockets, 4 cheese pizza, 270 calories, okay? Now, Hot Pockets, 4 cheese pizza, 280 calories.
God.
And you can bet the Lean Pockets version was at least $1 more. But I wanted to start with this because this really dumb bait and switch is a great example of the type of diet food that dominated the grocery stores between the late 80s and early 2000s. Like somehow the Lean Pocket thing, it worked, despite the fact that it was identical in every way, and in this case had only 10 calories less than a regular Hot Pocket. Just a few simple changes and we're like, okay, Lean Pocket equals diet lunch revolution. Hot Pocket equals junk food snack. We are truly too easy to dupe. But yeah, we as a society were in such a crash diet phase back then. Everyone wanted to be thin and lose weight, so much so that we allowed the food industry to convince us that the answer to all our health and weight loss problems was a slew of snack foods that were about as useful as a diet Hot Pocket.
But what's confusing is even if we were biting the bit and biting on the propaganda that, you know, we could take fucking 50 calories off the junk food snack and turn it into this protein packed portable meal, people were still relatively healthier back then. Like you said, it came out in what, the 1980s, 1990s. If you look at the people back then and look and compare it to the people today, we are heavier, like way heavier. So I don't understand. Like, even if they were tricking us, they were still doing something right, or they weren't too far off the deep end where it's like, all right, we got them tricked, but now let's just inject these foods with this and this and this and this. It wasn't that bad. Like, people were still relatively in shape. Today, people are just fat fucks.
Here are some of the most iconic examples of
And
this.
it's weird because we don't even eat Hot Pockets no more. Like, if you was to ask the average grocery shopper for their household, are they buying Hot Pockets? Maybe the people with, like, you know what I'm saying, preteen kids, and they don't always want to cook dinner all the time, and they know their kids want something fast and quick. Maybe those households, but not everybody's buying Hot Pockets, gang. I shop at Aldi. The Hot Pockets are they're not going extinct. You know what I'm saying? There's some products that, like, people are actively buying, and you can tell, like, you need to go up and go get it, or it's going to run out by the end of the week or by the end of a few days. But Hot Pockets stay in the fridge, gang. Like, them shits aren't going anywhere anymore. I don't know what happened, but we're still fat as fuck, and we're getting fatter as we speak.
That are both fun and really set up the issues we're about to discuss. Snackwell's cookies. These were fat-free and reduced fat cookies that had this health halo around them. They were marketed as cookies that you could still eat on a diet, or if you just wanted to be thin and healthy all around.
At Snackwell's, we like to think that snacking shouldn't just be about treating yourself, but about treating yourself well. And it shouldn't simply be about satisfying your hunger, but about satisfying your hunger for life.
Also, I watched Eyes Wide Shut for the first time while writing this video, and boom, that's Nicole Kidman eating Snackwell's cookies. Now, these cookies were fat-free, which was a really big deal in the 90s. Back then, we thought fat makes you fat. Eat fat, be fat. It does seem logical, but we now know that fat-free diets really don't do anything special when it comes to weight loss. It's mostly calories in, calories out, and 2 Snackwell's cookies have about the same amount of calories as 2 Oreos. In other words, Snackwell's cookies were a completely useless product, invented to help people lose weight, but were really just convincing them to keep eating cookies. And the people who maybe would have stopped buying cookies in order to get healthier just kept buying Snackwell's instead.
But I wonder why people don't realize that, like, if you actually take the time out your day, whether you grocery shopping or not, just go look at the shit in your pantry and just look at the nutritional label on the back, bro. I have this rule for myself. If that shit has more than fucking 10 or 15 ingredients that I can't pronounce and I don't know what it is off the top of my head, or it would be like a hassle, like literally a hassle for me to research it. I say probably 7 times out of 10, that shit is not good for you. No matter what it says, no matter if it has the word fucking protein in bold on the front, it does not matter. A lot of this shit that you're eating, like they just said, two cookies from the healthy cookies is the fucking equivalent of 2 fucking Oreos. At that point, eat the Oreos. They taste better. But I would say eat neither, because both are just, you know what I'm saying? They're just not good. And it's like these companies, damn, what the hell? My fault. Made a little earthquake real quick. But these companies aren't making anything that is like worth eating, that is healthy at the same time. Like, if there was a better time to tell you to stick to Whole Foods, it'd be no better time than now, because a lot of the food has so much processed bullshit in it, bioengineered chemicals and fucking just a whole bunch of red 40s and yellow 5, like all this just bad shit that is just fucking up your inside slowly but surely. So like, I think most people are waking up to it, to just like eating just whole foods and trying to getting your protein and your calories and your carbs from just whole foods that are not chemically just fist fucked, if for lack of better terms.
Special K, the cereal that was just a cereal, but for some reason promised you could drop a pant size in 2 weeks.
Afraid swimsuit season will reflect badly on you? Get the shape that reflects the way you want to be. Kellogg's Special K. Lose that winter fat.
The idea was people were supposed to replace 2/3 of their normal meals with a bowl of Special K instead. Possibly the dumbest diet hack I've ever heard of in my entire life.
Yo, look, see what how sensitive society is today? These commercials could never exist. The fucking brands would be canceled. I'm surprised that she could even find the OG commercials for these. I'm surprised they're not hidden somewhere in the fucking Epstein files or something, because shit like this, like if they were to come out with commercials like this today, oh my God, the GLP-1 warriors, the Ozempic warriors, the body positivity movement warriors, they would have been on y'all ass, boy.
If 2 bowls of sugary refined carbohydrates is the opposite of a diet hack. I don't know about you, but I'm going to be starving in 45 minutes.
2 meals, 2 bowls, 2 weeks. Have Special K or Crunchy Nut for breakfast and again for lunch or dinner for 2 weeks, and you too could drop a jean size.
Yet somehow, again, we believe this whole thing. Like the food industry really had people thinking that a box of cereal had magic weight loss powers. And millions of people participated in Special K challenges where more than half of their diet was Special K. Honestly, it's kind of genius. You almost have to give them credit. I don't want to, but damn. And finally, possibly the most disturbing diet snack of all, Wow potato chips, a Pepsi product released in 1996. Actually, PepsiCo is kind of the star of the show today. We will be talking about them a lot. Wow potato chips were 0 fat and about half the calories of regular potato chips because they were fried in this magical new oil called Olestra. Now, unlike Special K, Olestra really was seen as a miracle at first because it couldn't be absorbed by the body, so it was 0 calories. But it tasted like normal fry oil.
Bet you can't taste the difference.
Bet I can.
Take the WOW challenge yourself. Bet you can't taste the difference, or it's free.
What?
Wow.
Resulting in low-calorie potato chips that were just as good as regular potato chips, offering people the chance to, quote, eat like a kid again.
Remember the simple pleasures of being a kid? They're back. Now you can eat like a kid again. Introducing new Lay's Wow Potato Chips. They taste just as good as regular Lay's, and because they're made with Olean, they're half the calories and 100% fat-free.
The only problem was Olestra actually inhibited the absorption of essential vitamins and minerals and caused abdominal cramping, loose stools, and what would be later called anal leakage. Yeah. And some people had no side effects, but others had
Anal leakage. These niggas was making products. They were making products with an oil that affected people anally. That's kind of insane.
to be hospitalized with anal leakage. So after hearing these stories, people stopped
If you
buying
hospitalized, how bad is the leakage? Like, is your shit just runny like nonstop? Like, cause usually say if you have the runs, TMI, if you eating, put the food up real quick. But if you got the runs, that shit is not coming out unless you physically like allow it to come out. So with anal leakage, is it just like you unaware that your shit is just leaking? Or you just you feel it and you just try to run to the toilet, but no matter, like, you know what I'm saying? Like your body's on a clock. Like if your body hits that timer clock, it just that's insane.
Chips, they got discontinued and no one got to eat like a kid again. Now, obviously, none of these products were really an attempt to help people make healthier choices.
Of course not.
They weren't even really trying to help people lose weight. These products were about ensuring that people kept eating even when they were trying not to. It was all about sales, and sales for the food industry means people must eat. And ideally, eat more and more and more and more. And eating we have been. Since the 1960s, the amount of calories available per person has taken off like a rocket. After World War II, the food industry just kept getting more efficient, inventing cheaper, more interesting, and fun foods that Americans wanted to fit into their lifestyle. Suddenly, food was cheap everywhere and exciting, futuristic even. Back then, most people only ate 3 meals a day. Snacking was not a thing. It was straight up weird for people to eat outside of their 3 meals a day. But over time, as we were introduced to cheap potato chips, to soda pops, to crackers, cookies, and candies, and of course, marketing campaigns convincing us to consume these things, our food environment went through this insane shift. And as a result, we wanted more. So we just kept eating. And now, as a group,
like, when did we as this fucking society decide to start like snack maxing? Like when did we start that? When did we break that mold? Now I agree with that. I feel like personally 3 meals a day is a little past time. That's a little cavemanish if you ask me. Even I ain't gonna say cavemanish because them motherfuckers didn't even have guaranteed meals. But 3 meals a day that's just something that's just like, I could see 3 meals a day, maybe 2 snack periods in between breakfast and lunch and dinner. That's not bad, but it's like I feel as though when you give people too much leeway and too much control, and then you give these corporations like you said, you gotta applaud them because the marketing is always genius. The way to sell. Like the way to sell anything, especially in the West, the United States, I'm speaking, especially here, is to just have top tier genius marketing, because there's a big portion of the population that is just they live their life on feelings or emotions. So if your marketing ad or your campaign or whatever can get a certain emotion out of somebody to make them want to try something, to make them want to participate in the experience of something, that's easy money in the bag. It's easy money in the bag. And that's why I feel like capitalism is fucking us, because everything is just so appealing. You know what I'm saying? Everything is frying the dopamine. Everything is spiking the dopamine. So everybody wants to participate in every food. Look at fucking when the whole fucking chicken sandwich escapade shit happened. Look how that was marketed. It had the world in a fucking chokehold, literally in a chokehold. People were killing people over chicken sandwiches, all because of how good the marketing was. And then honestly, it don't even matter how the product tastes, because once the marketing reels you in, that makes you just want to try it regardless. So whether you enjoy the experience or not, you're already hooked because you already participated. You've already become a statistic to the company. You bought the chicken sandwich. We did our part, and then you did yours, and just like that. And God forbid you like the shit. Now you're a reoccurring addict. You're gonna come back.
Eating roughly 1 extra meal's worth of calories every single day compared with our grandparents, and that's how the system has worked for decades.
Like, look at that shit. It's no reason.
Day compared with our grandparents.
It's no fucking reason for a human that's gonna, you're not just gonna eat this. Like I could see, right, if we were responsible enough to have 1 meal a day, like if your meal was like this is a meal. This is a meal, and I'm not talking about the combo. The burger itself, if you eat 1 of these a day, I feel like you're good. You hit your calorie count. This is a guaranteed probably 2300 plus calories. Bare minimum 23. I don't see this being below 2300 calories. That's most people's fucking calories a day if you're like super duper big. If you're a super duper big guy, like you're in the gym and you're on steroids and you gotta fucking eat to maintain or whatever they say. This is about the calorie count that you're eating. But you got to take into account, this is not one person's, this is probably one person's dinner. You had breakfast on top of that. You had lunch. You had snacks throughout the day. You probably had Starbucks with hella like sugary drink. Like, this is why people are big. There's no reason why a fucking burger that you're eating should be this big. What is that? 4 patties? That's 4 patties, 2 fucking onion rings, 2 or 3 strips of bacon. I don't even know what's in the burger. Like, it's more shit in the burger and it's layered. That's insane. That's insane. Now, if the fucking McDonald's CEO had a burger like this in his hand, he was talking about, I don't know how to attack it, I would understand. I don't even know how to attack it. This AI ass bite. He didn't take a full bite of that burger. He didn't even fucking squish it all the way. That's insane.
That's how the system has worked for decades. And now I know there's a lot of people watching being like, hey, F you, I don't eat more than my grandparents. But I'm saying on average, we all eat more than people of the past. Yes, even you. And yes, even if you're not overweight. And obviously some people eat way, way more than people of the past. I can put myself in this camp. For 90% of my life, I ate well above the average human being, and it's only been the last 7 years or so that I've gotten it under control. But every time someone like me changes their eating habits, an angel dies. A bright light in the food industry goes out. I would have been what's called a heavy user in the food world. I don't know if it's an intentional pun or if it just makes the most sense as a phrase. But companies like Coca-Cola straight up call the people who drink the most Coke heavy users. And these heavy users were a big part of their business.
And you know who else they call heavy users? Fucking drug addicts. That's how these companies see you. You know what I'm saying? That when they're making these products in these labs, they're not thinking like, how can we make the best product to satisfy another human being? No. How can we make the most addictive fucking energy enhancing fucking chemically castrated concoction to just keep you hooked and in a cycle of diabetes, obesity, and just turning you into a fucking tub of lard. That's what this shit is. That's all it is. They don't look at you like a person. They look at you like she said, a heavy user. Like you're a drug addict, and the drug just so happens to be food. You're a fucking drug addict to these people. That's who they make products for. Just like the weed man sells weed to the stoners, the alcohol man sells alcohol to the alcoholics. The crack dealer sells crack to the crackheads. The big food network, food energy, whatever they called, the food industry. You're a fucking you're a fiend to them. You're a fiend. You're a fiend. Literally, you're a fucking fiend. That's how they see us.
Because some customers will only drink 1 can of Coke a day, no matter how much you market to them. But other customers have almost no ceiling. So those guys, you can just keep getting those guys to consume more and more and more. So yeah, me and people like me are the food industry's best customers. Now, lucky for them, only a small percentage of us ever managed to stop eating so much. So we've never really been much of a threat until now. Because all of a sudden, for the first time, a large enough percentage of people are starting to eat less.
Good.
America is on a health kick. There is a growing trend toward healthier eating as people start to understand more about what they're consuming. We've been slowly building towards this for the last 10 or 20 years, but we just keep prioritizing health more and more as something that we want out of the food that we eat. Plus, now 20% of Americans are on a GLP-1.
And I was about to say that. I wouldn't feel right giving the credit to just us simply waking up and doing the smart thing to finally fucking read the nutrition label, read the actual amount and percentages of shit that we're actually eating and consuming, and actually, you know what I'm saying, take the time to eat the correct measurements that they tell you to eat on the back of the box. Like, I would feel wrong giving us that much credit. In reality, people are cheating. People are taking these GLP-1s that don't even need it. People are on these ditch fat quick methods and fucking Ozempic and retatrutide. Like, whether it's fucking third party tested or not, people are looking for any and every way to lose weight. And they're still eating like shit.
like Ozempic or Mounjaro or any of the other ones. So there are millions of people on this medication and they are definitely eating less. So much less that they're buying less food, they're going to restaurants less, and they're snacking less than before. And at first, the food industry really didn't care about this, but now combined with this broader health trend, it's large enough and it's projected to grow enough that it's taking a bite out of their sales. Big Food pours millions into rebrand as obesity drugs reshape US demand. Diet changes linked to GLP-1 drug use could mean up to $12 billion in snack sales lost over the next decade, according to EY Parthenon estimates. So the food industry now stands to lose over $1 billion per year in snack sales. And obviously, they're not too happy about this. And as you'll see, their plans to fix this little problem might affect everyone for years and even maybe decades to come. And this topic makes me so mad because people want to be healthy. They want to avoid chronic disease. They don't want to be obese. And despite the fact that ultra-processed junk food seems to be at the heart of diet-related chronic disease, the food industry seems to be willing to stop at nothing to cram these calories down our throats. Because anytime there's a renewed interest in health in society, the food industry steps in and does everything they possibly can to stop it from happening. And to clarify, we're not just talking about people on GLP-1s. Like I said, this is a trend that's been brewing for a long time. All of the articles about this mention the food industry shifting because of this, but I think it's bigger than this. And this is something that everything's been working toward for a long time. And anytime people try to do something good for their health, the food industry steps in and offers these solutions that are extremely problematic. So with this new health trend on the rise, what does an industry built on excess do? The food industry is currently changing things up big time. A new diet and wellness food era like the one from the 90s.
Protein maxing. And that's how they kind of get you, because what's fucking us up is we're prioritizing protein, which is the right thing, but the best people are not realizing that it's not simply just eating protein that is good for you. It's the type of protein. You want to get your protein source. You want a whole food to be your protein source. You know what I'm saying? You want a whole food to be your protein source. You don't want manufactured protein, because what comes with manufactured protein is a whole bunch of other fucking chemicals that you and me can't even fucking pronounce. We couldn't pronounce it. We couldn't search it up on a first try if we wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So I think that's how they getting everybody. And this is a lot of people are waking up to the fact that just because it says protein doesn't mean that it's also the best thing for you. And these companies are just trying. That's how they try to get you. They slap protein on the front in big ass bold letters, and people are falling for it.
It's on its way right now. And the industry is dumping money into revamping all its products for this new weight loss craze. You can see here we have Coca-Cola, Kraft Heinz, ConAgra, Mondelez International, General Mills, and PepsiCo are all spending just a little bit more money this year in order to revamp their products. And I am very, very curious about the products they're going to create. Right now, we're extremely early on this, and they have launched some products, but they're nothing crazy. They're nothing that interesting like the products of the 90s yet. First things first, as you've definitely already noticed, the industry has been slapping protein on everything. Protein Cheerios, protein popcorn, protein Starbucks drinks, and just announced protein Doritos. And it's actually predicted that this year...
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie. One of the type of people that I fear the most, like if you drink soda, like on a regular basis, like if you have probably more than 1 or 2 sodas a day, I'm scared of you. If I see you out in public with a big ass bag, or not even a big ass bag, any bag of protein Doritos, I'm going to be sick to my stomach. I'm going to be cringe in human form. If I see somebody willingly eating protein Doritos, like, this is crazy. This is insane.
Going to start seeing fiber slapped on everything the same way you've been seeing protein. Now, to be completely fair, this could be a little bit helpful, right? For people who don't eat enough of these things, if you're eating a processed snack, well then, at least it has a little protein, a little fiber, maybe a little, I don't know, vitamins or something. But is this anywhere near as good as just eating normal food that naturally contains these healthier attributes? No, it is not. And if you pick up one of these protein-packed foods and think that they're doing something better or equal...
Now, hear me out. For the plot, I will try them. I haven't seen these. They probably in Walmart, and I don't shop at Walmart because Walmart fucking sucks as a brand. So maybe I'll probably never see them. But if they start selling them at Aldi or maybe even Kroger, if I catch Kroger on a good day and they got these shits, I might try them. Ain't nothing wrong with trying them, but it would piss me off if I seen somebody willingly walking around in public eating these shits, because that means they genuinely like them and they genuinely think that these are good for them. They want to flex that, oh, I'm eating protein Doritos, I'm healthy. No, nigga, you're lowercase fat. If you eat regular Doritos, you're uppercase fat. You eat protein Doritos, you're lowercase fat. Maybe with an italic, no bold. Honestly, that's what you are.
To a more normal food, you're doing yourself a major disservice. An ultra processed junk food, a snack food, is still a junk food, a snack food, even with lots of protein in it. And although it's not going to kill you, it's still more marketing gimmick than functionally helpful to your life. There have also been some other new inventions, such as another one from Doritos, Simply Naked. Doritos with no dyes and no artificial flavors. I personally really don't get this product. A Dorito by any other shade is still a Dorito. Changing the color of a Dorito does not make it not a Dorito. It also doesn't make it that much healthier at all. The color of the Dorito was never the major problem with the Dorito. Please don't get duped by products like this. Products like this do absolutely nothing to improve your health. You can't eat like a kid again, okay? And you don't get to count naked Doritos as a step in the right direction if you're trying to eat healthier. Also, can you tell me in the comments if you bought these, okay? Because it seemed like when it was launched, nobody cared. The launch seemed to be announced to crickets because here's how they launched it on Instagram. Yeah, with one of those 9 square grids, something that was popular in maybe like 2016 or even earlier. Very questionable marketing choice, okay? I haven't
It's
seen
almost like they going backwards with the marketing, kinda.
Long. I'm like, whose idea was this as your big launch for your new product? It also meant that one of the grids was this, with the caption, "The renaissance of snacking is upon us." Comment, sorry, what? Comment, same reaction. Also, most of the posts got almost no interaction, except for that one for the wrong reasons. This is just the beginning though, because although it seems that a new health trend on the rise, people eating less, means inevitably dark times for the food industry, which by the way, when I say that, I just mean that they're not going to be able to post the profits that they usually do. We have a system where any sort of lesserness in a company means they're failing. So even though they can actually be doing really, really well profit-wise, they need to actually do better all the time in order to be successful in the stock market. But really, they're viewing this situation as one big fat opportunity. Weight management is a big opportunity, Nestle CEO said. I think there are more opportunities than threats, but there are both, Pepsi CEO said. So on one hand, companies do think, okay, people are eating less, there might be a problem here. Quote, consumers on GLP-1s eat 700 fewer calories a day, and they were most likely to eschew processed foods, sugar-sweetened beverages, refined grains, and beef. Only fruit, leafy greens, and water showed an overall increase in consumption, the research found. So that's the bad news for them. People are turning up their nose at ultra-processed foods, aka 80% of the food created by the industry. These guys aren't getting rich selling fruit and leafy greens, they're getting rich selling UPFs and sugar. But here's the good side for these guys, okay? It's one of these opportunities the CEOs were mentioning. While consumption of most processed and sugary foods drop when taking GLP-1s, consumers' desire for these foods does not wane. That's creating additional opportunities for food companies to support consumers' dual desires for nutrition and indulgence. In other words, people still crave junk food while on a GLP-1, they just eat less of it. And it's obviously the same with normal people on a diet. They still want the junk food, they just have to eat less of it. And this means that people are still buying these junk food snack products, these snack foods that the food industry relies on, meaning that these companies still have a chance, not just to sell to you, but to pull you back towards their products, which is where maybe this next full-on unhinged and completely evil thing comes into play. So I found this under Our Nutrition on this Reuters article that we've been discussing. I work with food scientists who are partnering with the food industry to try to increase palatability and demand for different products as people's consumption habits change due to GLP-1s. The research shows these medications not just changing how much people consume, but users moving toward less meat, more whole foods, better macros. The folks I work with are focusing on targeting and ramping up the reward response in the brain to junk and snack.
And this is shit like this makes me very irritated as just a human being that's trying to fucking survive. And it's like these futuristic modern day scientists, whatever you want to call them, like, this shit is going to be the downfall of humanity because they keep trying to create shit to just hook humans on products. Like, I don't think we'll ever learn as a society because we get more and more advanced. We get more and more advanced every fucking year, and to the point where they're trying to create foods that are like literally like addicting. They're creating drugs in edible form. They're creating drugs in edible form, and it's like, we know this, we're knowing this, we're learning this, and is anything going to do to change it? No, because the higher ups, it's just, they want money, 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 money. This video is kind of hella long. It's been your boy RushMoreRick. If you enjoyed the reaction, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for vibing out with me today. Let's see if we got another video in the tuck. Let's go.